What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the What's Bothering You Today podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Vaughn, and we're recording another mini episode. It just depends on how long this one goes. It'll probably be a mini episode, though. This week I had a guest scheduled to come in, but I got sick, and I didn't want to get them sick, so we ended up pushing the episode back. So, I don't want to get my guests sick. I don't want to get their family members sick or whatever. So to keep up the consistency, I decided to come in and record a short little episode, to have something to post. I want to be consistent and I want to try harder this time around. So first of all, if you're tuning back in, thank you for, sticking it out with us. If this is your first time tuning in, like I said, my name is Anthony. And in this podcast, we talk about essentially what the title says, what's bothering you today. And in the previous episode, if you haven't watched it already, check it out. I talk about how usually I would say that we're not on like complaining type stuff. We're not here to just complain, but essentially, we are. We're talking about things that, bother us. We're talking about in a range from, super important things like things going on in the world, things that could affect future generations, to that small thing that really only bothers you. And it's just so minute that you could really push past it, but it just irks you, so this is kind of a entertainment podcast. We're not here to change the world or anything, we're not here to solve life problems. We're just here to talk about what's bothering us. I've had some guests come on and talk about relationships. We've talked about social media. We talked about how this one guy has issues with streaming, YouTube content, it's just a wide variety of different things. We've had laughs, we've gotten real serious, it's just, we go wherever the wind takes us. Typically, I have a guest come on, but I introduce them and then I just say, hey, what's bothering you? And we kind of just go from there, wherever the wind blows. But today, like I said, it's just going to be a little mini episode. It's just going to be me. Because like I said, I'm recovering from being sick earlier in the week. I had COVID. I'll just go ahead and say it. I had COVID, and I'm not trying to get anybody sick. So I'm getting better. I'm still a little tired. So if I take a break and if because I'm still trying to build my wind back up. Like I still get a little tired. There's just a little bit of remnants kind of remaining. So I'm just trying to build my body back up. But I'm doing good. I'm doing better now. But let's jump right into it. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about some things that's on my list, right? But then I'm also going to talk about some things that people, I made a post on my personal social media page and I just asked people, hey, what's bothering you today? And they typed out some stuff and I'll, quickly go over that as well. If you have something that's really bothering you, feel free to throw it in the comment section down below if you're watching this on YouTube. And just kind of, I'll talk about that in a later episode. So, but yeah, I want everybody to feel involved because, everybody has something that's bothering them, whether it's something super major or whether it's something super specific. I love the super specific ones, the ones that you're like, really? That's it? But oftentimes than not, the thing that's bothering you is bothering somebody else. And, we can all kind of come together on that. You can build friendships like, hey, you understand what I'm going through, right? You get it. You're going through the same thing or some variation of it. And, but yeah, so we're going to jump right into it. So the thing that, I'm going to focus on is, or the thing that I'm going to focus on for this episode is social media. In my age range, since I was born in the 90s, we were kind of in between, technology really taking off and, really just playing outside. I had games. I had the Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, Sega, stuff like that. But we still played outside a lot. I remember running up and down the street with my cousins, going outside, riding bikes, playing in the dirt. We spent a lot of time outside growing up, but we also had the game where we could go inside and play. And it was just kind of it was a mix. It wasn't all the way one extreme or in this direction or the other. It was a mix. We had fun inside. We had fun outside. So it was really cool to be born in this time period that me and my friends were born in, because like I said, we got a mix of the best of both worlds, right? Not everybody had that everybody can give fast internet now, but back then, especially where I lived, you had to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get super fast internet out there. I lived in the country, and satellite internet was not good back then. It was terrible back then. So if I wanted to play a game with my friends that lived in town, I was lagging. It was very bad lag. Like on their end, I was just teleporting from here and there. That's how bad it was. And then even before the satellite internet, you had to dial up or whatever. You couldn't be on the phone and be on the internet at the same time. So it was just a dope time to kind of see, the progression. Because technically, how old is Google? I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I'm older than Google at this point, which is crazy to think about. I'm not older than the internet, but I think I'm older than Google at this point. I'm 32. Just throwing it out there. So it's really cool to think that, like, years ago, the things that we can do now, only certain individuals with maybe a higher amount of money could do, and on a lower scale than where we are right now. And it's really cool to think about. It's really cool to think about, but that's not what's bothering me, right? The thing that's bothering me, especially on social media, is so with anything, there's good and bad, right? Too much of a good thing can be bad, and the right amounts of a potential, like a quote unquote bad thing, can be good for you. So a lot of people don't like social media, and they talk down on social media because they say social media ruined people. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. I don't think social media necessarily ruined kids or whatever. I think that it was just an overexposure, or, people didn't limit it for them as much as they should have. It wasn't limited, or people we were thrown into it. And while some people were able to handle that, some people weren't. I think it works like that with any and everything. If you limit the amount of time, or let's say it like this, different people handle different things differently. That's essentially what it is. Like, you can give two individuals the same thing in the same upbringing, or raised in the same household, and they'll still potentially turn out differently, because they're different individuals. Different things affect them differently, or they'll perceive different things differently. You know what I'm saying? So, if you really just think about it, that's just so cool. It's so cool. But anyways, I just went off on a tangent. But what I'm saying is, with social media, I don't think it necessarily ruined people. I just think that, like I said, it affected people differently. And people are always like, people are always in their phone, or different things go, things are too accessible, which I think I think that's a good thing, though. Because, like, back in the day, if something happened across the world, it would take a while for us to find out about it. It would take a while for us to know about this epidemic that's going around, or it would take a while for us to know about this earthquake that affected this city on the other side of the country. And now, since we know about these different things, we can prepare for it more easily. We can send relief or aid more quickly. But I do get it. I do get it that, some people take social media, the things that they hear and see on social media, the wrong way, or run with it without doing their research. But that works for anything. I saw a post just the other day, and they were saying that people believe anything that they see on social media. But I believe that works for anything. Some people believe what they hear in person. Some people believe what they read in the newspaper without doing the proper research. Some people believe what they see on TV without doing their proper research. Oh, dude will believe what his cousin told him without doing the proper research. I think in any situation, when you hear something, before you make a full opinion on you need to make your own, or you need to do your own due diligence, make your own research, research into it and find out for yourself and make a decision or opinion off the facts, other than making it off of what he say or she say. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that social media is to blame for something like that. I don't think social media is to blame for a lot of different things. I think that people are just taught differently about different things. And if, they were taught how to be able to handle such information, or if they were taught to be able to, navigate that properly, it would it would affect people differently. I think social media is a good thing. But like I said, with anything and everything, there's a positive side and there's a negative side to it. That's with literally everything. Too much of a good thing can harm you. Too much cake or, too much sweets can harm you. You know what I'm saying? I also think that watching the news too much can make people fearful, and like I said, or not like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with being informed, but some people can't handle it. Some people see the news and get so fearful that, this is to come and that's to come, when some of that information isn't even true. You haven't gone out and did your research. It could have been fed to you via the news a certain way that just isn't true, or it only showed you some of the facts of it. So I don't know. Social media is it's something else. It's a beast, and it's just going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to come in different platforms, and it's here to stay. So there's really no point in complaining about it. Really, it's not going anywhere. And really, social media is the same as newspapers or telegrams or phone calls. All of that. It's the same. It's the same concept, just kind of fleshed out more and more accessible. It's social media. It's people talking and relaying different informations or sharing different things about themselves and others and events going on in the world. It's just a different media, and it's going to, like I said, it's going to grow. Who knows what it's going to look like in 10, 20 years. So if people are all bent out of shape of how it is now, just imagine how they're going to be in 10 to 20 years. It's, like I said, it's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to change itself. And people are making money off of social media now. People are making money off of posts or sharing their information or sharing their knowledge, because everything is just so much more accessible now. Whereas a lot of things, you had to kind of figure out yourself. Now somebody has gone through it and posted about it. Now you can just Google and learn how to do it. Now you don't really have to memorize these different things. Now you can just do a quick Google search and figure it out, or watch a video on how to do it. And while some people probably say, that's a bad thing, or, it gets rid of critical thinking. And while I get what you're saying, but in a sense, the internet, it can't really solve everything. There's still some things that you got to think about, because you have to know how to take the bits and pieces that you search and put it together. You have to know how to navigate through the false information or the false sites and not be scammed and all this different type of stuff. There's still some critical thinking involved. The critical thinking has kind of shifted or changed. And like I said, this is here to stay. Unless some sort of natural phenomenon comes through and just wipes out all of technology, social media, internet, all that is here to stay. So you might as well learn how to make it work for you, and, how you can make money off of it, or how you can spend more time with family off of it, or whatever. You might as well make it work for you. Okay. So to kind of get off of, that kind of serious area of it, I got some little things that kind of bother me about social media that I've just been thinking about here lately, right? And something that I really don't like about Facebook and, mainly Facebook. I'll be browsing on Facebook and it'll show me a post from 2 to 5 days ago, and I won't realize it. And you'll like it. And I'm just thinking, and when I do realize it, I'm like, oh, that was from 4 to 5 days ago. What if they think I'm creeping on their page or something? What if they think I went to their page and or scrolling back, being a stalker or whatever, and just liked it? Like, because I know I gotten a reaction off of a post that I posted a few years ago, and I'm like, wait. Now I know that a post from a few years ago, there's no way that showed up on the timeline. So what was you doing? What was you doing scrolling back on my stuff, from that long ago? But I just think about that. I'm probably overthinking on it. It's probably not even that serious, but it makes me hesitant because sometimes you don't see everything. Every one of your followers doesn't see what you post. That's just how social media works. Not every one of your followers is going to see the post that you made because of the algorithm. And if you really think about it, if it worked like that, there wouldn't be a need for, ads like Instagram ads or Facebook ads. If every one of your followers saw what you posted, that's how they incentivize you to pay for the ads and stuff like that. I feel like if somebody's following me, they should be able to see it without having to, so basically, if I make a post right now and if I had 1,000 followers, all 1,000 of those followers, it's not gonna post up, it's not gonna show up on their feed. Unless they go to my page, some of them, the only way some of them will see it is if they go to my page. Or if for some reason it goes viral, then they might see it because one of their friends shared or whatever. But that's kind of how, that their algorithm works. I think it's kind of messed up. I feel like if I'm following a person, I should see that junk. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, like you'll follow a person but you might not interact with their stuff that much, so they'll start showing you their stuff less, and they'll start showing you the stuff that you interact with more because they want to keep you on their platform. And I get it. They're trying to grab our attention. I do get it, but still, if they following me, they should see my stuff. But yeah, I don't get why I see some things from 2 days ago. Like I don't want to. I don't know. I just feel some type of weird about it. Like, and most people probably don't even think like that. It's probably just me, but I don't like liking stuff from. If it was, so I like something maybe 2 days, maybe 1 day, but anything after that. Unless it's like, somebody got married or, a job or something like that, I'm not going to like that junk because I feel like they'll be thinking that I want them or something. I'm creeping on their page or something like that. Like I said, it could be just me. Tell me if you guys feel like that as well. Okay, just let me know down in the comment section. Something else on social media that has been bothering me or that I've been noticing here lately. I'll see some posts and it'll have all these comments on it, but no reactions. So I feel like if I like a post, especially if I like what the person said, and if I liked it enough to where I want to comment on it, I'm going to react to it. I'm going to give it a heart or give it a like. I feel like the reaction is the first thing, that the least amount of effort thing that can be done. I feel like doing a comment is more effort. So for me, if I'm going to go through the effort of, commenting, I'm definitely going to react. But I'll see so many posts. It's like people are having full-on conversations in the post, but not even react to the post. I don't know. That's weird to me. That's weird to me. It might not be weird to y'all, but especially my wife, she does posts and she tries to do posts that that asks a question in questions that'll spark up conversations or whatever. And I'll see like 20, 30, 40 comments on the post and 2 likes. And I'm one of them. It's hilarious to me. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I guess I just think differently because some people are probably like, I'll comment on it before I even like it. So then I wonder, like, I guess technically if you comment on it, you doesn't necessarily mean you like the post. There's just something that you wanted to put your 2 cents in on it. It wasn't enough of. It wasn't worth enough of your time to, like it or hate it or whatever, but it was worth enough of your time to leave your 2 cents in real quick and keep on moving along with your day. I don't know. It's just a little weird to me. But like I said, this is what's bothering you today. That has been on my mind for a few weeks now. I added this to my notes long time ago. And then the final thing that I want to talk about with social media is social media clips, right? So with social media clips are, when I say social media clips, I mean like the reels and the shorts. And the reels and the shorts, of course, are short form content, anywhere from, they've increased the amount of time you can have for them. But typically, I think like the sweet spot for reels and shorts is under a minute. That's just me. You can have them however long as you want to on different platforms. But for me, a minute or less, right? And typically, they're clips from longer form content. So maybe like one of their podcasts that they posted on their channel, or maybe it's one of those channels that they rip content from somebody else and, they post it on their page, on a fan page, or just, their page that they want to post, whatever they want to post on, right? And it, like I said, it's a clip from a longer form content, some longer form content, right? So it might be like a 30-minute segment from that podcast or that interview or that video, right? And the thing that bothers me about those, when people will see that clip, they'll run with the information that they get from that clip, right? They'll take that clip and say, oh, so-and-so said so-and-so about so-and-so, or so-and-so's thoughts about so-and-so, when that was only a 30-second segment of the full, video. And you don't even know what was said before. You don't even know what was said after. Maybe they cleaned it up. Maybe that was just an incomplete thought that didn't really get fleshed out. And people don't even know, but they'll run with it and they'll start flaming somebody, or they'll repost it and, they'll, or, re-quote it or whatever and say such and such about such and such. They'll start breaking these folks down off of a clip that they saw. They didn't go back and look at the rest of the content or the full video. They don't know a thing about the person. They don't know how they talk, but they'll run with the social media clip that they just saw, right? And that just irks my nerves, because those social media clips are curated in a way to attract attention. Sometimes they'll cut out the part, that cleaned it up, or the part that made it a complete thought, just to showcase this one part that will draw you in, that will get you like, oh, wait, what's going on here? Because the point of those social media clips is to draw attention in, draw eyes in. And if you see that clip and you're like, well, I want to hear the rest of the story, they'll make you go to the longer form content, which, helps that channel. And then maybe you'll stick around and subscribe or whatever. That's one of the main points of the social media clips. That's why they're so important. They kind of, since they're shorter and people's attention span, is shorter, people will consume the clips far quicker than they will the longer form content. So people will cut up their long form content so it can hit more eyes, so it'll draw more attention to themselves. But like I said, they're clips. They're just literal clips of the longer form content. They're not complete thoughts. They're not the entirety of the conversation. They're just something that, we're curating to draw in more attention to the longer form content, because the clips is what bring eyes in, and the longer form content is what makes people stay, right? But it's just that a lot of people, it kind of goes back to social media, where people don't, get the full story and they'll just believe what they hear, right? People just don't research. People don't try to find out the full thought or the context in which that was said. It could have been a hypothetical situation, but they saying, so-and-so hate women, or so-and-so saying men should do so-and-so. but there was a whole context before it, and you don't have no idea. At least go back and see, what's going on, figure out what was even being talked about. Then come back and form your opinion. Like, you're entitled to your opinion, but at least make an educated opinion off the full context before you go out here and now you're gonna have other people believe in you, because you already know people don't listen, people don't research, people will believe what they hear. So now other people, like, you spreading this wildfire, or you're helping to spread a wildfire about something that's not even true. Now this person is defamed and looked down on, or people are mad at this person, when if somebody had just taken a second and went back and watched at least a minute or two before that conversation or the clip even happened, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But like I said, there's social media, Facebook, Instagram. It's how it is, and that's how people are. I mean, like I said, people did the same thing before social media even became a thing. Rumors start. Sometimes it wasn't even them, mishearing something. Sometimes people just lie on people. All this stuff has been going on for a long time. Nothing's new. Nothing new is happening. It just looks a little bit different. It's just happening in different contexts. It's just slightly different, a variation. Nothing new is happening, I guess. But yeah. So that's my rant on social media. Social media is cool. Like I said, there's a good side, there's a bad side, but I feel like there's a good side and a bad side to everything. But yeah, that's my rant on social media. And in this part of the episode, what I'm going to do is talk about, like I said, I made a post on social media, right? And I asked people to give me a few things that have been bothering them. And I kind of just want to talk about a few of those on this episode. If you want to get involved with this and you're not friends with me on Facebook, what you can do is just put what's bothering you in the comments on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, I believe Spotify, you can comment as well. Throw your question or what's bothering you in the comments, and we might talk about it in a future episode. It's really fun being able to hear different things that's bothering different people. Because like I said, it can range from something super important to like the most specific thing that's only bothering you. And like, just because it's something small doesn't mean that it's not, it's not worth it. That it's not it's not worth mentioning. Like, please mention. I love the funny things that's bothering people. Like, for instance, like my little talk that I just had earlier with social media, that's not gonna change the world or change somebody's life. It's social media. Social media is social media. So, like, please tell me about the thing that your wife does that bothers you, or the thing that your boyfriend does that bothers you, or your friend does. Please tell me. I love to hear it. I love to have a laugh. I'll have a guest on and we'll have us a good laugh, and it's a lot of fun. So some of these are a little serious, but then there's a few of them that aren't serious. So I'm gonna start with a little more lighthearted one. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. So she said, this heat, boy, I swear the heat this year is different. I don't know what it is. When I got sick, I stayed in the house for, I just didn't really go outside, and I work from home anyway. So some days I just don't really go outside. The most I go outside is to the mailbox. Well, when I was sick, the day I was the sickest, I just laid in bed most of the day. I got up to get something to drink here and there, whatever, took medicine. I went outside the next day just to go to the mailbox, and I feel like it was almost the end. That sun is draining. And sometimes it's not even all the way 90 degrees. It's just like the sun. The rays of the sun is just draining. It's like it's just sapping all of my energy away. It's crazy. I was outside today, and because typically we have a garage. So sometimes, like, you'll go somewhere, you go to a drive-thru or whatever, you get some food, and you come back home in your garage, and you never really step outside. But today, that walk from the parking spot to Walmart, it was. I almost said, yeah, I don't even need nothing out of Walmart. I was almost like, I came all this way, but I don't even really need it. I don't really, do I really need that thing? And then I went to the mailbox today, and I like to take my little girls outside with me, my little fur babies. When I go out the front yard, they don't typically just get the chance to go out the front yard because, cars go by and, I don't want that type of problems. So if I'm there to supervise them, it's fine. So we went out the front yard, right? And I went to the mailbox. About halfway to the mailbox, I'm just like, oh, what is this? What is this sun? Like, cause like the rays, there's no clouds in the sky. It's just like sun. I'm just like, I'm like, I already started sweating and having a hard time catching my breath. Of course, this is probably partially due to me being or still recovering, but I was just like, all right, this is enough. It's only been like maybe 30, 45 seconds at this point. And I'm yelling at my girls, Nala, Rory, come on, let's go. So I mosey on back to the front door and I turn around and I'm like, where's y'all at? I said, come on. And I'm calling their name and they didn't come. So I had to walk back out there in that heat, in that sunlight, and be like, hey, where y'all at? Come on. I'm trying to get back into this AC, So, but yeah, that happened earlier today. This sun is crazy. And cause like that heat index is like, it'll be like 90 degrees, but the heat index say it feels like 105 or something like that. I'm like, wow. Sometimes I'll be sitting there like, dang, was it this hot last year? Was it like this? Sometimes it is, but I feel like it just feel a little different this year. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that sun feel a little different this year. Let's see. What's the next one? So the next one that I'm going to talk about is somebody said the thing that's bothering them is the level of lacking perseverance many kids have today. And I think this comes from she has a background in kind of like a teaching role, kind of like a mentor-ish, teaching-ish. It's kind of like something like that where, she has kids come in and she's teaching them a thing. And since I'm not around kids, I'm not around a whole lot of kids, I don't really see this. Or I'm not in a role where, for instance, like if I was a track coach or a softball coach or a little league coach or some sort of coach or some sort of instructor role, I would probably see this more often of how kids, I'm guessing that kids nowadays don't want to push through obstacles or they don't want to, stick it out to get better. Cause like people nowadays want the, how do they call it? The microwave blessing. They want it, instantaneous. Cause, a lot of the things that have come out now make things come to us a little bit faster. You know what I'm saying? For instance, like a microwave, you can get your food out a little faster than putting it in the oven, or with the internet, you can just do a quick Google search to find out a thing, or people want to learn how to do a thing without having to go through the process of, bumping their head and figuring it out. And I get that. But yeah, like I said, I'm not around kids that much to really feel this. But if this is real, then, this is definitely a cause for concern because perseverance. I have some things that, I haven't or I didn't want to persevere on. But, the older I've gotten, I feel like you have to, there's not everything is going to happen exactly when you want to. So sometimes you have to persevere through situations until you get to the right timing or to the right place, or you build up your funds enough, or you learn the thing. You sometimes you have to persevere to learn the skill and then get better at the skill to be able to do the thing at a high enough level to make money or to get in a competition or to just do it well. So, but yeah, if this is definitely a thing, it's definitely a cause for concern with the kids, because these kids are the next generation. They're going to become the adults, the driving force of the world, So if they don't want to persevere, this is definitely a cause for concern. So let's see. Let's go to the next one. This one's from my wife. How expensive everything is, but ain't no raises being given out. Ha! So I'm not going to pretend to be a financial advisor. I'm not rich by any means. I'm not wealthy or any of that. We do well, and we're making ends meet. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's important to have more than just your job, regardless of who you are and what you do. No matter how much you make, I think it's important to have more income than just your job, because one source of income is too close to zero. Because that one source can be taken away, and then now you have to struggle and scramble to find another source of income, right? So, and like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. So, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. So don't take my advices, but I do think that it's a good idea to learn how to invest in something else besides just your job, just your 9 to 5, just that one source of income. I just think it's more safe to have something else as well on top of that. And I'm not saying go out here and become an entrepreneur or anything like that, but hey, learn how to invest in the S&P 500 or whatever, into stocks or whatever. Learn how to maybe invest in some sort of business. Maybe you become, like, in a sense, an angel investor to somebody, and you get a percentage of what they make, or you start your own business, something that you can do on the side to bring in a few extra bucks. It's just, COVID was a few years ago, and the government did shut down a few years ago. So that showed a lot of people, hey, I might need to do something different. I might need to have, some money saved back. I might need to have something in place just in case my job lays me off. I just think it's smart to diversify yourself, no matter what, no matter how much you make. You could be making $500,000. If you're not making that without actually working and using your time, then you need to have something else. Because some people are making it just by existing. They already put in the work, and it's kind of just coming in because they're reaping the benefits off the work that they already did. Or, like, for instance, YouTube videos. Some people can make a YouTube video and it'll generate income for them. Or they'll put links into the video and people will see the video and buy something from the links. Affiliate marketing. Somebody will create a business or a course, and that course will stay there. It will always exist. So you're not using your time to, make that money. Like, that's side income. So I just think that it's a good idea for you to invest into something else besides just your 9 to 5. Everybody has something that they can offer the world. Everybody has their own unique experiences, their own outlooks on life. So, and not everybody can reach everybody. Just because there's this one person and they're super good at, starting a business, or they're super good at this one skill. Just because they're super good at this one skill doesn't mean that they're the only person that can teach that one skill. There's some people don't like the way a certain teacher teaches. They need to hear it from somebody else. Everybody has individuals that they're meant to reach. So that's why I believe, like I said, I'm not telling everybody to go out here and become an entrepreneur, but I think majority, or if not all people, have something to offer the world, and they have people that they are meant to reach. Because, like, sometimes I'll hear a thing from my wife or somebody, and then I'll hear the exact same thing from somebody else, and then it clicks. That it could be a range of, they said it the right way. It could be a range of the timing. But if it wasn't for multiple people telling me the thing, I may have never gotten it. That's kind of another example why multiple people should be, teaching the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you have your own skills. Like, you've worked at this job for so long. Hey, you can teach people how to do the job better. You can teach people where you've bumped your head on a certain task. And you could teach them how to not bump your head. Hey, this is a pitfall that I experienced. If you don't want to fall in, or if you want to avoid it, this is what you should do. Everybody can teach, or not everybody can teach, because not everybody has the skills and the ability and the patience to be able to teach a thing. But I do think that everybody has the ability to offer something that they're good at, because everybody is good at something, no matter what. Even if it's just being you and who you are. Some people would be entertained by who you are. Some people just enjoy being around you because of who you are. And some people would pay to be around you because of who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you can find a way to generate some additional income. For instance, this podcast. I'm not the most eloquent speaker. I am not, somebody that's super knowledgeable about, or I don't even really talk about the things that I'm super knowledgeable about. But here I am, making an attempt at, potentially generating some attention into me, and then putting those eyes into maybe my business, one of my businesses, or maybe I'll put some links to some equipment to help people see, or somebody might see my podcast and be like, hey, yo, video looks super crispy. How do I get it? How do I get my video like that? Hey, let me show you how. I can offer them, different things like that. But there's just so many different ways to do it. You just got to find the one that works best for you. And like I said, or I also want to add that there's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. There's nothing wrong with, having a job. Some people, or how should I say this? If everybody tried to be an entrepreneur, then who would work the regular jobs? You know what I'm saying? Who would work the cashiers? Who would at the clothes store? Or who would work the window at McDonald's and different things like that? Everybody has their role to progress society. So everybody shouldn't and everybody cannot be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is hard. It's tough. And some people don't realize the amount of work that goes into being an entrepreneur. Sometimes you have to work a lot harder than you would at your 9-to-5. Because at your 9-to-5, you got some sense of security, some sense of it. And then you have paid time off. You have these different benefits and insurance and stuff. And if you start off now as being an entrepreneur, when you not doing that work, you not getting paid. You see what I'm saying? So that extra step, that step of faith that you have to take into entrepreneurship is scary. But in some cases, it is definitely worth it. But yeah, and I think that's I have one other one from the post that I posted today, and we'll end it after this. So he said, let's talk about the talent needed for local businesses that they seem so resistant to develop. I've had to fight tooth and nail to get proper, effective training for new technologies. Google can't give you everything, and AI is like that 13-year-old that thinks he knows everything but understands little. I'm not even gonna get into AI on this episode. AI is a monster. It's a beast, and it's growing. But I'm not even gonna get into that topic on this episode. But I do kind of want to touch on the talent needed for the local businesses. I've experienced this just a little bit, and especially in the town that we are in. It's not like a big giant city, So in some cases, there's some things that you might need training on, where instead of local training, you have to get sent off to a bigger city. Some cases that's frustrating, because imagine being a business owner and I need my employee, because I want to promote from within, and I'd rather have somebody trustworthy that's already within my ranks to know this skill. I don't really want to hire another person with that skill and pay them, almost the same amount or similar or slightly more. I want to just train somebody I already trust and know to be able to do a thing. Well, there's nobody local that can do it. So now I have to pay for their flight and stuff to wherever that place is for them to learn the thing. And then I need to pay for their hotel fee and all that different type of stuff for them to learn it. And then there's no telling how long it's going to take them to learn the thing. Well, you wouldn't have to pay any of that if you could do it locally. You just have to pay them to go to the class and maybe pay mileage or whatever, which would be a substantial difference from having to pay their lodging and all that stuff, their per diem and all that stuff for the, having them go to a place and learn the thing. So, but it's still tough because you have to find individuals that want to learn the specific talent. It's I don't know. I don't know what the solution is for that. It really is tough sometimes because the specific things that you need for your job, for the new technologies that are coming out. In a lot of cases, they're so new. Of course, there's not going to be anybody locally that knows how to do the thing, And sometimes a Google search isn't enough for you to learn the thing, So that's a tough situation. It really is a tough situation. It really is, and I really like the comments that I got for this week, and I just want to say thank you guys for commenting and I will continue to ask before episodes for different things that's bothering different people. Like I said, feel free to drop some in the comment section down below, and we'll discuss those in future episodes. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode as well. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for rocking with us. This is the What's Bothering You Today podcast, and the following week, we should have a guest because I'm feeling quite a bit better now. So this upcoming week, I should have a guest. So stay tuned for that. If there was anything that you particularly enjoyed about this episode, leave it down in the comment section below. I try to respond to all the comments that I can. And be sure to smash that like button and subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching or listening on Spotify, you can watch. If you're watching / listening on Spotify or listening on your favorite platform, be sure to give us a 5-star rating so that the algorithm will push us up higher so more people can hear this content. We thank you guys and we appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.